What is up, guys? Fallen Monk here. So, came to do a little topic. I think from our first few videos, I think this would be a good topic to do, and that is on clerics. So, clerics, you want them in your party, no one wants to play them. It's understandable. Most people just think of the healer archetype and just think, nah, it's not for me. I want to be a barbarian. I want to scream and kill my enemies. It's understandable. I mean, that's fun. But I feel like clerics have a lot of untapped potential. I mean, I think a good example is probably Gesture from Critical Role, who doesn't even heal all the time. She does a lot of tricks and stuff and illusions, and it's a lot of fun. Because there's a lot more to clerics than just that. So, but I just wanted to give one of my favorite cleric spells as a first video, because I feel like this is a very underrated cleric spell that's really good, and I think it's clerics exclusively. I'm not sure, but if you're a bard or something else, I think it's a valid spell to pick up as well. Or just, I think it's handy for any class who doesn't really use their bonus action much. And clerics really don't use theirs much, except maybe for Healing Word and Mass Healing Word. And I consider that kind of like an emergency spell. I don't really use it much because it's only a D4. And I usually like to make my clerics tanky, so I could just run up and cure wounds right in the middle of a fight and just slap some enemies if I have to and just show them what's up. Basically playing a paladin. Regardless, so Spiritual Weapon. It's a casting time of one bonus action. As a range is 60 foot, so you can put it anywhere in the area. Components are verbal and somatic, and durations for a minute. So it's not concentration, so you have to die for it to go down. And the best part about it is it's basically, when you cast a spell, you can make a melee attack against a creature within 5 foot of this weapon. On a hit, that target takes force damage equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So it's a d8 plus your wisdom. So it's a solid hit. It's about the same you get normally as a cleric, but it's based on wisdom, so more than likely it's going to be a stronger hit. Unless you're just a muscle cleric, I don't know. Regardless, that's pretty solid, and even on that bonus action, after the first initial turn, you can move it another 20 foot. So you get an enemy with low movement speed, you can chase them down forever with it. So it's something I think is a really solid cleric build, is keeping your action focused on healing or fighting, whatever you want to do, and just have that bonus action constantly just dealing out damage with the spiritual weapon, and you can finish off smaller enemies that way. You can rack up some damage. One downside I will say to the spell is, for it to go up a d8, you got to cast it at a level 4, because it's another d8 per 2 spell slots over. Yeah, it's 2 spell slots over second. So highest you can get it is probably 4 or 5 d8. And that's unfortunate, but it's understandable because you'd be dishing out some major damage with that spell. So that's why I recommend, probably my favorite cleric ever played, Braum. Old Braum. So the build I had with him particularly was pretty much built around spiritual weapons. So I was a life cleric, and I wanted to be a healer that could do damage if I have to. So I came up with a strategy, which was I would cast Spiritual Weapon, Spirit Guardians, and if I really wanted to do some massive damage, I would also cast the other one. It's really close to Spirit Guardians. It's somewhere along the lines, but it's the one where it's another duration spell where you summon basically a huge sword that just deals out like 20 damage a turn, up to 60 points of damage, I'm pretty sure. Really handy. So I put Spirit Guardians, which is within a 15-foot radius of yourself. You have spirits to protect you. They can either be Fey, Angelic, or Fiendish. If you're evil, you're limited to Fiendish, so nah. So I was an evil cleric, so I had just a bunch of imps. And what I do is, when a creature starts its turn there, or when they enter it for the first time, they have to make a wisdom saving throw, take 3d8 necrotic or radiant damage, depending on if you're good or evil. Evil, necrotic, good, radiant. And I would just basically chase people down with Braum and be hitting them with my mace, hitting them with my spiritual weapon, and having all these imps just completely swarm them. And I was life domain cleric, and I was level 18 by that point, so I just level 6 heal, I'm healing him like 79 points because all life clerics boons at that level. So I hardly had to focus on healing. It was amazing. I was just basically watered down paladin at that point. Pretty nice. So that's what I'd recommend. That's a pretty solid cleric build. And also another detail I forgot to mention, spiritual weapon. It's cool for flavoring sakes because you can actually make it to be anything. Like, I had mine be a warhammer, and I think that's kind of like the staple one. At one point it became a bag of gold because my cleric got really greedy and was charging people for healing. And if for anyone who watches Critical Role, you can apparently make a Nefertiti as well, like Shikasta did. Good stuff. I've had other clerics play it like just like a mace, a morning star, stuff like that. Regardless, it's something I'd really recommend. And I think for a cleric who regrets playing cleric because I feel like they don't do enough damage, I think it's pretty solid to make you feel like you're contributing to the fight more, aside from just being there on the beck and call for healing people. So that's what I recommend, is having that and just saving your main action and just take some cantrips like Radiant Flame, Sacred Flame. I mixed Radiant Word and Sacred Flame. Word of Radiance and Toll to Dead are also pretty solid spells for that. Because you target something with low wisdom, you've got a pretty good chance of getting them. Regardless, here's my first video. You want me to do any more videos on clerics and what I recommend to do from her builds, so let me know. I got another video planned where I break down like what I consider like the best healers in the game to the worst and what your options are. If you want to know, just let me know. And if you like it, I guess you like my videos in general, just let me know. This is my first one, so let's see how it goes from here. Until then, I'm Fallen Monk. Remember to like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.